All right, we're in week 29, and today we have 5 weeks to go, which is kind of scary. And here are the final animatronics. So they are basically all been tied in with the motors, wires are all set up with the battery. Um, all the DuPont's wires have been wired, soldered, buttons, everything's ready to go. Even the faux nozzles, they're not going to be hooked up for this performance, but they are in place with laser cut felt, which are looking great. Sydney did a great job with that. And it's just looking at different parts and pieces. So going through the labeling process, and you can see the back here of all three are finished. And actually these images were actually used for creating a schematic. All right, so here's the final boards. The upper board and the lower board connected. Finally getting some sort of connection happening. Still lots to go, but we have the Adafruit, or not the Adafruit, but we have the feather board upper board, and also on the bottom we have kind of the Arduino Metro board that we're using for Wi-Fi. So Doug Su has been doing a great job with patiently going through the process of figuring out how to wire it, how to set it up for charging. So when these 4 batteries go bad, or not bad, but when they get drained, we'll be able to plug them into the wall and then charge them overnight. So he's done a great job in figuring that out. Multiple processes. You can see here's the charger cord. It's kind of the prototype. Obviously we'll go into more of a hardwire, but you can see that this will go into the wall socket. So great stuff. The lab is busy. It's usually 4 or 5 people sometimes in there working, trying to get this done in the 5-week turnaround. So programming updates.
Well, maybe you just need to fiddle with that.
You can touch some of the, if you have access, touch some of the pins that come out of it.
Oh, the pins themselves?
Top, yeah.
Yeah.
Top pin.
The pins themselves?
Or like here.
Okay.
It should do something.
Oh, wait, just look at the surface.
Huh?
No.
Oh! LED works.
Turn it off. Oh!
All right, again, labeling wires. It's not all done in one day, but trying to get a labeling convention, trying to keep it short, and then trying to keep a schematic. So once we start plugging this into the boards, we know what's going on. So it went through several iterations. This is the final one. Still need to add the IP address to the lower and the upper board. And I think this is the final look of everything all plugged in to the batteries, all ready to go. And we did fry one board on last week. My fault, I think some solder or some debris got into the board, so sweeping every day and need to start mopping the floor so we don't have debris hanging around. All right, so we have projection mapping form. This is something I'm working on as of today. This is a kind of a big projection mapping form that will be projecting our scene behind. This is kind of the concept of what it will look like in the cube. So it's going to be pretty big. It's about a 120-degree circle, about 60 inches tall, and about 15 or 16 feet wide. A really quick video of different configurations with the projector. So David from iCat is trying to figure out how to set them up into the space so they hit in the correct angle, and also not overlap each other. So we're using the iCat's amazing projectors are fed through a different room through a fiber optic, so it'll be quiet, so we can just hear the sound and not the sound of the projector. So that's what we have so far, and I've sketched it out outside of the Henderson just to see how big it's going to be. Just want to make sure things aren't overly engineered. Also just to feel what a 10-foot radius feels like, and also the 120-degree angle that we're going after. So this was actually really helpful for me, just kind of figure out what's going on. For some reason, it was really hard for me to wrap my head around our form. So I'm sure they're praying for rain to wash this away, but it is just chalk. So again, I marked up the side of the building to see how tall it is. It's a pretty big structure. Going through a couple iterations of some drawings. I don't know why it took me a long time to figure out how to do this, but it's been a while since doing CNCing. It's a lot of money in plywood. I don't want to get it wrong. So I even mocked it up in some cardboard or some fabric. So this is a super strut that will be holding it up. So this is left over from Sound Arcade 3 or 4 years ago. And this morning started with 6 sheets of plywood. When we got through the 3rd sheet, and we had to stop for the day. But you can see it on the floor. So it's kind of the length of it. It's pretty big. This is just one, so it's going to take about 2 days just to make the one. So obviously it's going to take a long time to make this. We may just boil it down to 2 scrims instead of 3. That's because we're running out of time, and also budget is pretty expensive on the plywood. So this is a really cool thing. I was at the hardware store and got some white electric tape, and was thinking how to seal this edge. It was supposed to be a magnet and more watertight, but different printers, different alignments. So, but I'm actually really super excited about this. It's nice and clean, seamless edge from the clear plastic to the hard plastic. So anyways, this is a real quick insight on our meetings. Every Friday for about an hour, we talk about the upper board. Obviously, there's a lot of troubleshooting still to do with the upper board, but this is with Matthew from Georgia Tech, just kind of helping out, going line by line, trying to figure out how to get the upper and the lower board to communicate. So anyway, this has been really helpful. Hopefully by this week, we'll have some good communications. At least we got lights working, which was exciting, servos, and also haptics, but the touch surfaces are not working yet. But anyways, we'll get there. We don't need a touchable surfaces for the performance. All right, here we have projection mapping scene. So Matt has been working on the background scene. These are actually 3D models, some 2D images, some just black sky. And so this is kind of our background scene. And then on top of this will be particle systems. So hopefully we'll do a lot of illuminations on top of the surface. So it'll be quite dark. So we'll have to do some trickery to make it bright and a dark environment. That's all I got for this week.